Chris Lynch, Local News with Boxman. Buy or hire our shipping containers, both new and used. Available right here in Christchurch. Call 0800 Boxman.
The man charged with kidnapping and murdering Yanfei Bao has pleaded not guilty to both charges when he appeared in court briefly today here in Christchurch. Joining me to discuss the next steps is Detective Inspector Nicola Reeves. Thanks so much for your time.
Good afternoon.
How did Yanfei's family react to this murder charge? What can you tell us?
Yanfei's Chinese family arrived in New Zealand on Saturday. We've met with them on Sunday and been speaking ever since. They are naturally devastated about what has happened. Like the police, they're certainly still looking for the answers in terms of where she is. And police are working very hard to be able to answer that for them. They have expressed their thanks to the public and to the police for all the efforts that have taken place to date.
Have police got a better understanding of how Yanfei may have been killed?
So in terms of, questions like that, Chris, and the real intricacies of the investigation, you know, and your listeners will certainly know that this matter is now before the court, and I can't go into those sorts of details.
Sure. Has the search area been scaled down, Nicola, or has it been perhaps more, have you got more clarity, more focus on any search areas in the Canterbury region?
Yeah, so there's been a great resource invested in the searching of that Tai Green Park area. We are, assessing where we've been, where else we perhaps need to go and look, and we balance that with the information that's still coming into the investigation to make sure that we're covering off everywhere that we should be. We're not searching day to day at the moment, but we did have a group of officers out there today searching a small area. The results, which I don't have at the moment, will be looked at, and then we just keep assessing, on a daily basis as to, whether we need to be back out there and where we need to be. We're very determined to find Yanfei. We very much want to bring her home to her family.
Have police finished looking at other locations across Christchurch? And at one stage, detectives and search teams were in the likes of Lake Terrace Road, New Brighton, Burwood, Hallswell. Have some of those areas now, have you completed the investigations in those specific areas, or are you asking the public for more information and more sightings of that car that you earlier were asking the public for sightings of?
So the sightings of the silver Mitsubishi, particularly on that Thursday, the 20th of July, are still of importance to us. So if anybody's still hanging on to information, which they think, maybe it's not that important, we would still like to hear from them and let us assess whether it's important or relevant to the investigation. I know you've mentioned a few suburbs there. We've been to Lake Terrace Road. We probably, at this stage, don't see a need for us to go back there. But in terms of the Hallswell Green Park area, like I said, we had people back out there today searching. So I'm not ruling out returning to any of those places, but it's determined on advice and the expertise from our search experts and further information that comes into the investigation.
Detective Inspector, I know that you've gotten your information out today as to what the public can do to help in terms of some items, and I want to get to that in just a moment. But before I ask that question, how important has it been for your teams in terms of receiving tips from the Christchurch community and getting to the point of where the investigation sits now today?
The support and the information coming in from Christchurch public has been immense. We are very thankful for it, and we're really heartened as an investigation team because we certainly sense the community, wanting to help and really behind us in our investigation. The community, as they always are an extension of the police. They're our eyes and ears. And we're heavily reliant on information that comes in. So it has been absolutely phenomenal. And, I thank the public, as do Yanfei's family.
Detective Inspector, you have released new information today urging the public to help. Run us through the items of interest for us.
So the first item is a spade. It's just a regular garden spade of the brand is called Excel. It's grey, it's about 1 metre long, and it's fully metal. There's no wooden part to it. We know that the spade is new, and we suspect that it has been discarded somewhere in the Christchurch area. The reason I say new is that, I wouldn't be expecting people to be, if they're looking at sort of a very old, rusty spade, that's not what we're looking for. A very new spade, Excel brand. It's the metal is a grey, a sort of grey mottled look to it.
Are there any specific locations that you believe the spade may be, or places where that could be of interest for the public to look for if they're out and about?
Yeah, I think your listeners will probably be aware that this investigation has taken us to lots of different places throughout Christchurch City, and we're not in a position to narrow down a particular area. So it's
Sure.
It's a general request for the general Christchurch area.
Okay. Also, you're after sightings of a particular jersey as well.
Yeah, so there's a long-sleeved top, which appears to be grey or a pale colour, and it's got a series of stripes across sort of the midsection torso part, which look like they're a dark blue colour, and then a large thick stripe that goes across the arms and the chest area, and that's a purple colour. So that's an item of interest for us, and particularly, where that item may have been discarded will likely become a location of interest for the investigation.
Were there any other items of interest that you need the public to be aware of?
The other piece that we're looking for is matching tracksuit. So it's long pants and a long sleeve top. The base colour of that is a pale grey, and it has a red or maroon coloured trim to it. So there's a long stripe down the outside of each leg. There are 2 stripes on the upper arms, and there is a circle on the chest of the tracksuit, which appears to be, like a label or an embroidery or something along those lines. So, yeah, they're quite distinctive items, and we're really hoping that members of the public have either seen them discarded somewhere, or they're on the lookout now for them when they're out walking.
Detective Inspector, just a few final questions. How much has CCTV footage played a part in your investigation? I think to even maybe just 5 or 10 years ago when, many residents didn't have CCTV cameras, but now it's also become part and parcel of what you do, not just in Christchurch, but across New Zealand. How helpful has some of the footage been?
CCTV is crucial in investigations, really vitally helpful in terms of timings and locations and movements of people of interest in an investigation in general. In this investigation, it has been incredibly helpful. Both the CCTV that we have installed around the city, but also some of that private CCTV footage as well. Very, very helpful.
Police and dive squad members have had to navigate what you'd probably call some pretty difficult terrain. How would you describe their work?
Their work is completed with the utmost of professionalism. They obviously bring a different set of skills and expertise into an investigation that, your regular investigators don't have. We've been very reliant on the work that they have done. The effort has been really fantastic.
And just finally, Detective Inspector, what is your message to the good people of Christchurch who have been following this investigation from day one?
My message to the Christchurch public is just a really wholehearted thank you very much. We have a really dedicated investigation team here, but we know that the Christchurch public and the New Zealand public are very, very much behind us, and we're really heartened. We're really heartened by that, and we can see that in messages that go around, that are received. But we can also see that with the information, the volume of information that has come into the investigation. So, yeah, thank you all very, very much. Your efforts and your support are really felt by the police and by obviously Yanfei's family as well.
And thank you to the amazing work you and your officers do day in, day out, trying to solve this case and bring Yanfei home to her family. Detective Inspector Nicola Reeves, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you.